which today we'll be discussing is about microorganisms. So we have seen from biomolecules, they all make one cell by having a lipid bimembrane as an individual cell, and individual cell is nothing but the machinery to make up and break up new cells. Okay, so dehydration and hydrolysis reaction occurs, and thus you have a new cell. So it's a machine to proliferate more number of cells. So in that cell, when you see a very long time back, what evolved first is the microorganisms. Then we evolved. Okay, for example, the bacteria, there are evidence that 3.5 to 3.7 years old. It can be the period it could have evolved. Okay. So before going to this topic, let me see who answers. Very simple question. Now we are doing this online class also because of the COVID pandemic. COVID is caused by, popularly it is said that it is caused by the coronavirus. So how do we know? We cannot see that coronavirus, isn't it? So how do you know it is caused by the coronavirus? Can anyone answer? How do you know it is caused? This COVID is caused by coronavirus. How to know? Who can answer? How do you know it is caused by the coronavirus?
By seeing the symptoms of infected person, sir.
Okay, so what are the symptoms? Don't. What are the symptoms you see? The symptoms
So
are
body pains and fever.
fever and sore throat, and senses will be lost. So you won't get the taste, or not all the senses. Taste buds will become inflamed, so you won't get the taste or you won't get the smell, everything. But that symptom, how do you know, is caused by coronavirus? People say it is coronavirus, but how do you know it is caused by coronavirus? One individual A is there, he displays this symptom.
Hello, sir. Sir,
Ah,
can you
yeah,
repeat the question, sir? I had a little internet issue.
okay. So my question is, COVID is there. How do you know it is caused by coronavirus?
Sir, maybe through blood testing, microscopes, observation, sir.
So,
RT-PCR.
uh, exactly. So who told that? Sudarshan? Who
Shamir
told
sir.
artificial? Sheikh Shamir. Okay. So that is correct. So, do anyone know what is real-time PCR? RT means stands for real-time. It is actually QRT-PCR, quantitative real-time PCR. Do anyone know
Yes, sir.
what is
Polymerase
it?
chain reaction, yes, sir.
What exactly it is?
It amplifies a specific gene sequence which we want, sir.
Exactly. So, uh, mostly it is all because of the PCR, whatever G told now, that PCR machine, which is made by engineers, and in the PCR machine, it's a very simple machine. We all use it very commonly in biology labs or research labs, and it just fluctuates at a temperature. and by fluctuating temperature from low to high and again low like this, because of the DNA can be denatured, renatured, and amplified, polymerized. So it is just polymerase. And DNA is getting polymerized with that machine. So you are giving different temperature for denaturation and renaturation and elongation, where polymerization of the DNA is occurring. But the fact is, by that DNA, which is very specific, the gene which is specific to coronavirus, by that you're telling that the coronavirus presence is there, and thus that is giving the symptoms. So people who don't show the symptoms, they will not have this coronavirus in them. So this is the technique. So you're viewing the microorganism, that is the virus over here, by genetic thing, not by microscope. Other microorganisms normally this kind of genetic method, see from DNA kind of method we are doing to identify the organism. There is something interesting, but conventionally they all look at it via the microscope. Okay, so with this premise, I'll start with the other slides. So we'll be seeing the microorganisms. So again, I was giving the premise that we were seeing the different biomolecules which together act as a cell that becomes a machinery to proliferate more number of cells. One example I told how they are identified. They are identified by nowadays by molecular techniques, that is by specific DNA sequence which is not there in other organisms of the same bacteria, virus, or fungi, or anything. For example, over here, whatever you see in this is called a petri plate. Okay, it's a glass dish. In the glass dish, this is we call colony. Okay, when you come to the campus, I can show you in my lab also we do this. These are all colonies of bacteria. We grow the bacteria, like for example, we provide them the nutrients which is required for them to grow. Like we also have some nutrients in our food, everything. Here we give the food for them. We call that as a media, and on the media, these organisms will grow. We'll grow them like this, and we do the experiments. Okay, colony, like over here there could be lakhs and more number of bacterial cells which are coming together and forming a colony. So one colony can have around 10 per 6 or 8 cells, 10 per 8 cells. Okay, so that makes a colony over here. So that is how we visualize them. Otherwise, one cell, you cannot visualize one cell over there with your naked eye. Okay. So when you see the microorganisms, it can be the smallest one is the virus. Though virus we cannot call a biological organism because it can when it stays outside the hostess, for example, the coronavirus, we are the host. On our cell they will grow, our cells. Okay, when they are outside they are just like a chemical, so it will be an entity thing. But when they come inside a host cell, then they start proliferating or growing, and thus they will show the characters of microorganism. So the earliest thing could be this kind, but later on you have a little more is the bacteria which evolved around 10 par, as I told, 10 par, uh, sorry, which evolved around uh, 3.5 to 3.7 billion years back. And then you have from the bacteria, little bigger one is the fungi. Fungi, I'll show you later on forthcoming slides. We all know the fungi. Then comes the protozoa and the algae. But fungi, protozoa, algae are eukaryotic organisms. So much more developed. Like in the previous classes, we saw how the organization is there inside the cell. So fungi is having a more organized kind of cellular unicellular component compared to bacteria which is not having organelles in them. Okay. And when you see the size, we can compare this with the human hair. So when you take one hair, it is around on an average 17 micrometers. Okay. That when you see a fungi can at least be seen with the microscope, which could be 1 to 40 micrometers. A bacterium so small, it is 1 to 5 micrometers. Like, for example, you might have heard about E. coli organism very popularly. That E. coli is around 1 to 1 micrometer in length and zero point 0.5 micrometers in breadth. It will be like a rod shape. Okay. And still more lesser sizes on 20 to 30 nanometers will be uh, uh, 300 nanometers, 20 to 300 nanometers will be the viruses, which will be just like a dot. When you take the hair, a small dot. So all these things we cannot see with the naked eye. Some more about the size, for example, for your comparison, uh, when you see an atom will be very small size, whereas okay, atom over here you can see which is small size, whereas virus which is there. Just a minute, why my laser pointer is not working? Okay, over here you can see like around uh, Ah, so an atom is around zero point 0.1 nanometer, but you can see over here the coronavirus which we were discussing will come somewhere around here. Okay, it is around nearly 100 nanometer in size. 100 nanometer plus somewhere over here it will come. Bacteria is over here 1 micron. It can be up to 5 or 10 micron maximum, 5 micron. But later we have cells which could be around 10 to 100 nanometer micrometer, sorry. Okay. So our human cell, for example, is around 60 micron in size. 60 micron, I discussed at this. The length of a DNA itself is around 6 feet. Everything is super coiled and put it inside this nucleus. Okay. So our cells are something around 60 micron, and you can see the frog egg, which will be around 1 millimeter. How do you visualize this? Is the novel bacteria and the animal cell or fungi and all will can be visualized in the microscope, but for viruses you need electron microscope, something called electron microscope, which will magnify a lot. But now we were discussing about this uh, coronavirus. Therefore, anyone who shows symptoms, immediately you won't see in the electron microscope. Whereas now, what you do is you just use the PCR machine, polymerase chain reaction, which will polymerize the DNA and specific gene. Gene is a fragment of DNA which codes for protein. We have seen the previous classes, and that gene which is specifically present in coronavirus or some other viruses over here, they will be amplified. Amplified means it will be increased in number so that we see them. And that a little more PCR machine, an evolved version of the PCR machine is called the real-time PCR machine, quantitative real time. As the increase or amplified DNA is taking place, we can see in the monitor what is happening in the PCR machine. So just see like engineers were very important over there, along with some chemical engineers also, and who can design, and they've designed something where we can see even the microscopes actually are designed by the engineers. Electron microscope particularly is very much sophisticated, and from microscope we have gone to something called genoscope, okay, where genes will be looking at. Okay, this small video for you to know what is the poliovirus, rhinovirus, influenza. These are all different viruses, and rabies virus is something very important. So viruses size and now bacterial size. These are different species. The names of bacteria like E. coli, Lactobacillus, tuberculosis. Now there comes the uh, red blood cell, yeast, skin cell, all the, and human sperm and pollen, from which we get the allergies or neuron, and human egg, euglena. So you can see the sizes of it is present. Okay, amoeba, tardigrade is something very interesting. So, and now we should know they all cause the disease in us. Like now we are in disease caused by the coronavirus. So, similar way, when a disease is caused by some bacteria or some microorganism like a virus or fungi, it is called infectious disease. The one which is not caused by the any microorganism, they're called non-infectious or non-communicable, because the infections, when they are caused by some microorganism, they can transmit from one to one more. But a non-infectious, like for example the diabetes or some heart disease or anything, is not necessarily caused by some microorganism, and they are not infecting, they are not contagious to other person also. It is not communicable. So you should distinguish them as communicable disease, which is caused by the organism, microorganism, like for example the cholera, tuberculosis, pneumonia, chickenpox, or now the COVID. All these are transmitted. So only we wear a mask and we are not, you are not able to come to campus also. The reason being that it is transmittable, it is communicable. Okay, whereas if individual, if for example the individual is very lethargic, lazy, and he doesn't do any exercise or no walking or anything, he will have more issues like diabetes, cardiac, all these things very at early stage itself. and this individual will not communicate, like will not be contagious to other person who is in proximity. So it's only we should distinguish. It's only like, for example, when you wear a mask, you are not able to see the infectious particle which is there, the microorganism. But mask, when you respire or anything, it is not going along with the respiratory air. Okay, so it is getting filtered in the mask itself, and thus we are taking a non-pathogenic, or the if it penetrates the mask, it could be very less so that it will not cause a disease. So you're limiting the thing, but the wearing of mask is not only for one individual, it is also for the public, because young people, like mostly around 95% of the young people, like you all, uh, up till the age of 25 or something, they will not be get more infected with the coronavirus, but they also wear the mask. Why? Because not only for their production, but because the virus could actually grow in them. If it is there, if they don't wear a mask, for example, it can grow, but it will not cause the disease, but it may increase the number of viruses particles in the air. When he or she breathes, it may cause more particles in the air, and that can go to other person and infect. So potentially that individual is not wearing the mask means he is transmitting the disease to others also. So people who are sensitive, they will get. And for example, we have seen the second and first wave, many people died, and see the havoc how it is caused. Like many people in economy also, they have lost, and lot of suffering is taking place because of this. Okay, so now let's go to what is virus. Virus is caused, definition is a pathogen or a disease causing agent, not considered living, because it cannot reproduce on its host, on its own. Sorry, it can only reproduce, proliferate. For example, the coronavirus, if it's outside, it cannot grow. Whereas when you take a bacteria or something, it can grow even outside the host. This can grow only inside the host. Okay, and the structure is very rich in structure. Viruses, when you see this example of influenza virus, influenza virus is something you can say very close relative of coronavirus. Now what we are facing coronavirus pandemic, 100 years back our ancestors faced a similar kind of pandemic caused by influenza virus, and now we are facing the coronavirus pandemic. Okay, so influenza virus, it will have a this kind of spikes which even coronavirus is having, and these spikes and all later the whole virus could have an envelope, or they may not have the envelope also, whereas coronavirus is having the envelope. It's only we wash our hands with alcohol, so it can dissolve the lipid. Okay, so chemical reaction is having, and because of that the virus will also just get killed. It will reduce in population, and it's having the genes inside. There will be a protein, simple structure of viruses. It will have a protein coat, and inside it will have the genome, nothing else extra. It may have a lipid envelope, or it may have different proteins and spikes like this. Some viruses can be like this in shape. This bacteriophage, that is a virus. Not only viruses are causing disease in us, the higher organism, they also cause in bacteria. So a small virus can also kill the bacteria by infecting them. They are called bacteriophages. Okay, like the viruses of bacteria. There can be animal viruses, plant viruses, bacterial viruses, everything. Bacterial viruses call us bacteriophages. We also biotechnologically design such a way that to target a bacteria we'll use. For example, why our ancestors and our country we all uh, 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 do puja of Ganga river is because there are plenty of bacteriophages. So in Ganga, if anyone immerses and comes up, they will not get the uh, transiently they will not be able to getting the bacterial infection. Whereas in polluted waters or anything, there will be more bacteria like salmonella, all these things which can cause the infection. But somehow the Ganga river is full of bacteriophages, so it will kill the bacteria and thus you will not get the infection. Okay, so only it is regarded as a very pure water. There is also a scientific reason for this thing. So only there was also a biotechnological company. Now also I think it is there. It is called Ganga Gen in Bangalore, where they come out with different viruses, bacteriophages for treatment of different infections. Okay, and viruses when you see they are rich in different shapes. It is not a very linear shape or anything. Lot many different shapes could be present in them. Like for example, very dangerous disease, uh, very deadly, caused by viruses. And you see, it is the rabies virus caused by rabies virus, which is bullet shaped. It is belongs to a family called Rhabdoviridae virus, and just thus it will have a bullet shape. Whereas when you see one more deadly virus, which causes infection in not in our country, it is not found much, but in some African countries it is found, and they are called as Marburg virus, Marburg disease, or they're called by some other name also, where the blood will ooze out in orifices, wherever, for example, in the ear, in the nose, in the eyes, through the mouth, everything blood will ooze out, and they will kill. Those are caused by filovirus. You can see the shape of filoviruses, and you can see some of the viruses like the pox viruses this shape, and you can see icosahedral shape is of the adenovirus like this, and even you saw the bacteriophage how it was, and also coronaviruses we know it is spherical, and it will have the this kind of spikes on it, even the influenza virus. So a lot of different shapes could be of viruses. Okay, for example, these are nutshell what are the infections caused to human, but viruses can cause to different animals also. Okay, many animals, including the bacteria, it can cause the infection. These are some of the examples of the viruses which are caused. In that, something special mention is this Japanese encephalitis virus is there, which can cause, for example, JE virus we call, that caused infections and a lot of deaths of infants in our country. Okay, like in northern side in the UP, it was there. In the Rajasthan, it was there. In Madhya Pradesh, it was there. Many infants were killed because of Japanese encephalitis virus. Rabies, we all know very commonly, it is one of the deadliest viruses ever found. Okay, and you have the rhinovirus, which very commonly we get the cold because of the rhinoviruses. And like this, for eye, for pneumonia, for lungs, for different things, it is viruses are very well known to cause the disease. Okay. Next, coming to bacteria. Bacteria is, as I told, from here you can make the proper cell. It can proliferate. Unlike the viruses, it can proliferate by itself, even outside the host. And it's not always, it doesn't require always a host cell. Some bacteria are there which can grow only with the help of the host cell, but there are many different bacteria which will stay. For example, if you take 1 ml of any fresh water, it holds around 1 million bacterial cells. That is the number of bacteria which will be there. Okay. And if you take 1 gram of soil, it will have around 50 million bacterial cells in it. 1 gram. But you know how many grams everywhere it will be there. So bacteria are ubiquitous, and water also everywhere we have, isn't it? And a human body, we can have, each human, for example, is having around, on an average, 10 trillion or more bacterial cells in them. Each human, I'm telling, just see the world population, how much it will be. Calculate each individual, if it have on an average, there is 10 trillion cells. There's something very important. Why? Because what is, we are all multicellular organisms. We have many cells in us. How many cells, when you estimate, it is around 10 trillion cells in our body. Okay, our own cells. With that, we are also holding 10 trillion bacteria with us. So 10 trillion of our cells plus 10 trillion of bacterial cells, and thus we make up one human body with the proper sensing and this thing. But only thing is, our eyes are not such that its magnification is such that it will not allow the bacteria to be visible. Our naked eye will not allow it to be visible. Now, for example, just imagine you have a eye where you can come with some, you have come with some innovative, just assume, innovative kind of binocular, which is permanently fixed to your eye, and you can tune in so that you can see even magnified organisms. See, you will see even a bacterial cell with that. So when you see your friends or family members or anyone, you will not be able to make out even an individual standing in front of you. It will be like a cloud of cells, if you imagine like that. Because of the magnification, you'll be able to see only the cells and bacteria everywhere moving, kind of cells. Like any ghost movie, when you see how the things will fluid things will be there. Similar kind of fluidity will be there. There will be no individual actually. And even, for example, you may not see one individual who is in front of you, because there will be cloud of bacteria, cloud of pollen, cloud of everything will be there, and it will be very noisy. Only now with this particular eye, with this particular magnification and resolution, you will be able to see clearly what for us it is apparent. But over there, if you magnify more, obviously you will not be able to make an individual. Why I'm telling this is, we ourselves, we have around 10 trillion bacteria in us. So how much ever you wash your hands or keep a sterile, say you keep a sterile filter to your nose like a mask, and even while eating everything is boiled and you drink, there is bacteria in your body itself. There is bacteria. Only thing is, why we are doing all this hygiene is to um reduce the pathogenic bacteria which will kill us, which will cause disease in us, okay, which will cause infection in us. Otherwise, there are many bacteria which will not cause a disease. Only there are few bacteria or viruses among the whole, it's a few percentages which could cause some infection in us. Only we are reducing that. Otherwise, we are actually our whole body is made up of bacteria. So, philosophically, a question will come whether you are you or your bacteria, made up of bacteria. Okay. And when you see the planet Earth completely, uh, how many number of bacteria is there? Is around 5 non-alien. Can anyone guess what is this 5 non-alien? How much it is? Can anyone tell me? A 10 power, how much? Yeah, any guess? Anyone? Non-alien is how much? How much? Yeah, please, anyone? Do you have your mobile and the internet is available? You can Google also. How much is non-alien? Yeah, who'll tell me? Let's see.
One followed by 30 zeros.
Exactly. So 5 non-alien means 30 zeros. Just imagine 5 to 10 power 30. Okay, so that is a non-alien. So when you see the whole planet Earth, do anyone have? Can you guess how many stars are there in the whole universe? Any guess? What could be the number of stars in the universe?
Sir, we can't count now, sir. We used to say galaxy of stars.
But there is estimation for that. See, this also is an estimation, isn't it? There is estimation. You can model. Come on, now you have supercomputers and everything. You can, our mind cannot comprehend, but supercomputers, everything can comprehend so many things.
Right. 200 billion trillion stars.
Yeah, around 10 part 24. That is the estimated count of total number of stars in the whole universe. See, in the whole universe, 10 power 24 stars are there, but bacteria only in the earth you have around 10 power 30. Bacteria is more than even the total number of stars in the whole earth. Okay, stars in the whole universe, how much it is there? Only in the earth you have more number of bacteria, and they are proliferative machines. Okay, so this is something very interesting. So staggering numbers of bacteria are found in the earth, and this bacteria again, when you see the shapes, they are also again rich in different shapes. For example, you have spherical shaped bacteria, you have rod shaped bacteria, you have just spiral shaped. Okay, just like a screw, they can be shaped, or they can have flagella like this in one side, or in the whole body. They have, or the spherical shape could be two, could be attached together called diplococci. And they can be four like this, or they can be in this shape, or staphylococcus or streptococci, which is common in oral. They all they are in chains like this, or rods in chains like bacillus in your intestine, in the gut, in the soil. You have this bacilli very commonly, which is present. Okay, this kind of and they also form this kind of hollow, not hollow, spore we call, where when you take out this dark color, only this color, if you, it will, if you see, it will be like a tennis racket. So that kind of sports they can form, like for example, the when you fall, or when you get injured, when you get some cuts or anything, You go to a doctor, you put TT injection very fast. TT, why you put this? Because of Clostridium tetanus, which is cousin of this botulinum. Clostridium tetanus, one more thing is that also can form this kind of spore, and these organisms can cause infection when you don't put the TT injection. Okay, tetanus toxoid injection. So these are different shapes, and as I was telling, so when you magnify, say, your eyes with some binoculars or microscopes in your eye, just like similar to binoculars when you keep, you would not be able to even make, for example, the eye, the nose, the lips, or anything, cheeks, or anything. You cannot see. It would be like cloud, complete cloud. You'll forget about seeing an individual artist. Over here there is an individual, but actually the individual is made up of your own cells and bacterial cells in the same number. Okay, and these bacteria in our body, they help digest our food, they help regulate our immune system, because we are all healthy because of the immune system which is constantly fighting the incoming microorganisms, and this will really help, and that is regulated, that is directed by some of the bacteria itself, which are beneficial for us, and the bacteria also protect us. Every day it is protecting us, for example, from disease. For example, the disease could be communicable or even non-communicable disease. For example, now there are different methods, biotechnological methods, where, for example, even a diabetic patient, he can reduce the diabetes very much, the sugar levels, by transplanting the microbes in the gut. Okay, so that gut microbiota transplantation is something very important that they use by different methods, and that bacteria, even for depression, even for anxiety, it is your intestinal bacteria. The composition of the bacteria which will determine what kind of behavior also you have. For example, if you all smell a pizza and you want to eat a pizza or anything, it is not maybe not your mind which is telling to you to eat, consume that pizza, but it is your gut bacteria which is telling your brain to go and eat that particular food which is rich in fatty acids or lipids. Okay, the appetite, this kind of appetite also could be by bacteria, which is indirectly telling you. Okay, and the vitamin B and vitamin K, particularly vitamin B12, is produced by the bacteria. Okay, they influence our behavior very much. For example, if you are very anxious, if you are depressed or anything, there is a biotechnological thing which is coming up. Like, for example, if someone is depressed, there are some bacteria which is called psychobiotics, and the live organism can be given, and thus is the depression will come down. Anxiety disorders, when it is there, they get the psychobiotic bacteria in him, and the anxiety will come down. So your day-to-day behavior also is directed by the kind of bacteria that is present in your intestine. Okay, and when you see where are these bacteria found, they are found in very acid conditions, also very alkaline conditions. They can be present in high salt conditions, also in hot conditions, also in very cold conditions. And when you see, there are bacteria which are useful also. For example, in the agriculture, if you take some leguminous plants, you find this kind of nodules in the root, and they are all because of the bacteria which is present in the soil. They all come together and they will fix the nitrogen for the plant, and plant gives them production as well as some nutrients. Okay. In agriculture, in the industries, in the biotech industry, for example, these are fermenters which are built by, designed by engineers, and this digital by electrical engineers, and now more computational methods are there for this, for computational engineers are involved, and you build up the fermenter and you produce many different molecules, like for example the insulin for diabetes, the vitamins, the antibiotics, everything, and alcohol in the breweries. All these are produced by the bacteria. Okay, so the economy, still more economy there could be in a later time point. For example, even for energy, uh, the bacteria is known to produce even electricity. Not only the electricity, in the future, even the lot of renewable energy, because now we are going for example, you all may know, even our prime minister had to given this thing by 2070 will all be zero, will become full green, full sustainable development. For that, you require some processes where you use the bacteria, you can take the gene, you can cut the gene and place it, and that would produce something by these fermenters. You grow the bacteria and they produce, and you like the alcohol can be used even in diesel, petrol, and all they mix. So all those things can be produced without bacteria. So economy can be get, you can make the economy run with the help of a bacteria itself. You can have an industry and produce. For example, even the vaccine, if it is produced, it can be produced in such kind of fermenters only. It is produced even now. Okay, and even in the environmental processes. For example, when a lot of human are there, they all let down the wastewaters every day. So many gallons of wastewaters are there. So it is bacteria which is actually cleaning them. They utilizing, they are utilizing it as a nutrient, and thus they are reducing the pollution in that, and we get clean water. Even in Shastra, when you come over here, we have wastewater treatment where it cleans, and the clean water which is done by the bacteria is used for the plants, everything over here. Okay, and there are some disease causing bacteria also. For example, these we all know cholera, typhoid, very much leprosy, and other things are also caused by the bacteria. Okay, they all cause the bacteria, but among the microorganisms, when you see what is the highest number of infectious disease is caused by the bacteria. Though viruses can cause these kind of pandemics, it is not very common, but bacterial disease are most common. And for the industries, they can cause this kind of fouling. They form on the ship hulls or in the heat exchangers. They can form biofilm. They can, that is a sticky slime, and then the higher organism, bigger organism will come and to this biofilm of the bacteria, and thus they could form, they could also clog the heat exchangers for flow. So when flow is retarded, then the economic losses for the industries will be huge. They can also corrode many different things, and even the ships industry also. It is very this thing. Then fungi, a little higher. From fungi, it becomes a eukaryotic organism. Bacteria and all is a prokaryotic organism, and fungi is a eukaryote. And this we know, like when we keep some vegetables or bread or anything for a long time, we see this kind of patchy things which are growing on them. It's all because of fungi. Fungi also comes in various shapes. For example, just like bacteria, what we are seeing, they come with different shapes. Even the mushroom, is a fungi, bigger fungi, especially the fungi. One of fungi is there, which is called a humongous fungi. No other life form is so very big. It is single fungi, so many different. It's all connected, and you see it is around so much, so many meters, meter square. So big, humongous fungi it is called. Okay, and they can also cause different diseases, especially we know very well about the skin diseases and even some infectious disease like Streptococcus or in the respiratory infections also can be caused by fungi. Okay? And thus, when you see the diversity, this tree kind of thing, it is tree of life. When you see, you don't get confused. We humans will come somewhere over here, wherever I'm showing, because in eukaryotes, but you see, these are all different bacteria. Bacteria are highly diverse. Different species of bacteria will be there in the earth. Okay, so I'll stop here. Will be happy to answer your questions if anything.